All right, what up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Block is Hot. Thank you guys for tuning in this Monday morning in Eastern time, at least. And I know everyone else in this call is in a different part of the world. But yeah, today we have a pretty exciting live stream today. It's actually going to be with the Blockowls team. We have Ken here, who's the community manager, as well as Phil, who is one of the founders of the project. And they're just going to talk to us a little bit more about their upcoming Jabi-Z mint and just a little bit more about Blockowls in general. So what's up, guys? Good morning or wherever you're at. How's it going today?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good morning. Good morning. Here 8 a.m. So pretty early. No time for beer yet.
9 p.m. here. I'm currently in Bali, Indonesia. So
Nice, nice. Yeah, it's a little early for beer. I've got my water myself, but for those that don't know anything about you guys or Blockowls, can you do like a little bit of like an intro slash background of who you guys are and then just an overview of what Blockowls is?
oh, Kenneth, this is
Yeah.
from New York.
So Blockowls is a story-based NFT project through visual storytelling, and we're basically telling a story about the Blockowls universe, which have created a blockchain, and the Jabezes don't really like that because, they are like the mighty race in the universe, and they feel threatened. At least their richness feels threatened, and so they want to destroy the Blockhouse, which they tried to do so with a laser beam. However, that didn't really go according to plan. So instead of destroying the blockchain, they kind of shot all these blockouts into space. And with that, also, they started glitching and mutating. And they also seem to have superpowers, which we will see in chapter 3. And so, through every mint we do, we kind of launch these new teaser videos that further unfolds the story about the Blockhouse. So now with chapter 2, we've launched 4 more teaser videos, which you can find on YouTube or on in our Discord. And so there's one more teaser video coming that will again tell more about what's happening exactly. So there's still a lot to talk about and to write, but obviously that will come with the next teaser videos. And so far we've done chapter 1, which we had 3 main collections: Hydra, Plutus, and C-1. They all have the same utility. And then we also have the Tiger collection. They are part of the main collection, but they were distributed very differently. They were given away for free to, for example, to the people that staked with Tiger Pool. The collection itself was also in honor of our Tiger of our minting partner Tiger Pool. And so next to that, we also made a story collection that was also added as an extra, where you will find NFTs from our teaser videos, so such as the blue hole, for example, or pilots, which you can find in the teaser videos. And these were also all given away for free through airdrops or through giveaways. We have also some sort of holiday mints, we call them, in that collection. Those were not given for free, but they were mintable through a very low price, 10 and 20 ADA, and most of the proceeds went to charity. So now we go into chapter 2 with the Jabezes. And
we can just add one thing. We, after tax, which we had to tax about 23%, but after tax we raised, I remember, almost 32,000 US dollars for charity, which is probably what I'm the most proud about, that we've done that.
yeah,
Which is
Wow,
an
that's
insane
impressive.
amount.
yeah,
Obviously,
and
thanks to the community, but it's amazing that we managed to do that. And I would
yeah,
we do want to do more of it in the future. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no. And so the next chapter is Jabezes. There will be 6,400 NFTs total. However, the mint coming up, we did a community poll to split the mint into more parts. So the first mint will be the 29th of April, and we'll have 3,200 NFTs. So our whitelist people will be prioritized, but all the NFTs not being minted in the whitelist will flow over to the public. And that's a short overview of where we are at the moment.
Nice. And that was a pretty, generalized overview of everything that you guys have going on, right? So you have the different chapters in the Blockowls, the Plutus, I always forget the names, the main Blockowls that
Yeah.
everybody knows. And now you do have this next chapter with your next mint coming up. Now, do you guys mind talking, like, going into a little bit more detail of, like, I guess the inspiration of the original Blockowls? And you guys have been around for a while now. What all is going around this project? Well, what all have you guys done with Blockowls? And then we can like get into the new mint coming up.
So, well, I guess creatively, now I'm partly speaking for Kent because he's like the original idea was his. Um, but he wanted to create something fun. That's the baseline of the project is something fun, something playful, something that will captivate a broad audience, and at the same time have, even though it's kind of like a fictional fun universe, still be something that people can kind of reflect on, that this is also a struggle in reality. Obviously, it takes inspiration from reality into this storyline. Um, so that's a kind of underlying, I guess, concept. For us as creators, it's immensely fun. Like it's like, for those who don't know, the whole creative team, we are in the same animation studio, and our day-to-day job is, among with Blockowls, is client work, where we have very strict parameters in communication, in style, in what we can do. Where in the Blockowls, the kind of the borders aren't there. We can experiment, we can have fun, we can kind of have full creative outlet, um, which everyone really appreciates. We can get yelled at because an antenna is wrong on a dinky device for a certain client, but then the next morning you can just play with a blockout. It really
Yeah.
is, it is the highlight of, uh, not that it's not fun working on client project, don't get me wrong, but it's been this kind of fun creative outlet that we've constantly had, for a long time now.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
try to also translate that towards the community with activities and contests. And for example, one contest that everybody really loved is design your own blockout, and it's basically like where you become as well the artist. And yeah, that one was really a great contest because people could actually make their own concept of a blockout, and that was then remastered by the team and brought into the collection. So Plutus and CH1 has each 5 blockouts that actually were made by the community. So that's what we also really try to do in the project to make it fun for the community members.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
for me. That's the most fun. Like that was the most fun in Blockowls when we did those collections, because we really connected with the community. It wasn't just us making Blockowls and them appreciating it. It was us, all of us, making something together.
Yeah, and I think there's something really cool about that where with NFT projects, especially projects that you guys are starting yourself, you have like kind of the full realm of creativity to really do something cool, do something enjoyable. And I think I'm not alone when a lot of people say that Block Owls is one of the coolest, if not the coolest project on Cardano as far as art wise. Just all of the different unique animations, the different rarities that have different scales of animations. I mean, it's overall just a super dope project to look at. And I actually didn't know that there were 5 concepts from the community that were built into that artwork. That's
10,
super cool.
2
So
times 5.
10 total, 10 total, yeah. So that's super cool. Now, what do you guys say has been kind of like the main focus of Block Owls? Like, what all have you guys been trying to create or accomplish through this project?
I guess the two things have been obviously the artwork itself, and a great community. Obviously I can sit there and brag that we have the best community, but I don't know. I know my community. I love them, but I don't know other communities, but I at least feel like we have a really good community. Kenneth, you have more you have more clue about how other communities are, because I'm not that involved.
Well, not anymore. I'm also just with the Blockowls now. But
Yeah.
no, I think another thing what we're also very focused on is creating the story and make sure that there is a connection between the story and the people, because that's what we really think that can make a brand a big brand. That's where you make that connection with people, so they fall in love and they just don't want to let go anymore. It's like, just to give a small example, like with Pokemon, you also fell in love with the story and the characters, and we kind of want to do the same, like make people fall in love with it, and then that will bring us further down the road in future, you know. So I think that's also a very important point what we try to establish.
Yeah.
Nice. And then I guess now we can kind of like tackle this new mint coming up with the Jabezes. What was I know Phil, you were saying the main inspiration for the Blockowls was through Ken, but what was kind of like the thought process around the Jabezes? Like, why is it not owls again? Why did you decide to change it? Why are you using this new type of model here? What was kind of the thought process behind all of this?
Also, like obviously, it draws a line to real life. We're talking like the Blockouts represents obviously the Web3, and Jabi-Z represents old money, whatever you want to put into Web2, yeah, whatever that means to you. But we we obviously wanted we had the protagonist and antagonist, so we wanted. Where should I start? Well, we can put it this way: it wasn't bound to be a fox, I guess. So we started from scratch. Though funny enough, in the community, I think they started guessing what the Jabezes were going to be long before we had decided what they were going to be. So I think the first people who shouted "fox" was before it was a fox. So whoever, congrats to that person. Um, so we, on the one side, wanted to create this character that was still relatable. He was still charming. People were supposed to like them, but it was still kind of like the misunderstood bad guy. He wasn't pure evil. He needed to have, you know, both more than one nuance in the spectrum. Because I'm already Team Jabi-Z, so I can talk all day about how great they are. But we also wanted to be kind of silly. We took inspiration from Wall-E, how the human race has turned because technology has just made them into these fat sacks of vegetables. So that's kind of a bit of where we want to go with this fox that once was an apex predator and now needs a mech suit to get around. I know I'm kind of just drifting here, so please stop me whenever. And then
No, yeah. I mean, did you want to show? Did you want to show some of these while you're kind of like, and walk us through like maybe the components of it when you're showing it?
Yeah, sure. Let me.
That
see.
might help.
Yeah, I can. Do we have a normal one before I start getting the alpha out? I can go to the site.
And for those that are listening, supposedly we're gonna see some not seen before ones, which is pretty exciting at some point in this. Some special ones.
Yeah, because they come with a few special ones, 4 golden ones, 4 digital ones, and 4 other special ones.
Present. Share screen.
And also in the audience, for those listening, if you guys have any questions throughout this call today, just feel free to put them in there and I'll make sure to ask. But awesome. I think we're showing some of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like explain what exactly this is and
Yeah, so
the story behind it, I guess.
yeah, so the one part was obviously where we wanted to take the evil race in the storyline and kind of our thoughts behind that, which was a long development process on how we kind of could tick all the boxes of what we wanted. And we ultimately ended on a fox, which is kind of like the natural antagonist to the owl and the animal kingdom. But we had all these kind of parameters that we wanted to tick in order for this character to be what we wanted it to be. And on the other side, when Kent first thought of making the NFT project, he really wanted to make a full collection where it was a full one-on-one. I know that I'm apparently not supposed to say one-on-one, but I do it anyways. Animated collection, but he didn't see how that it was possible. So when we were done the Blockowls, we started exploring how can we do that? How can we make, well, the number we set later, but we said like, we started with the theory, how can we make 10,000 uniquely animated NFTs? And that was a long process in itself and kind of just a goal where we had a dream of doing it simply because nobody else had done it before. So, yeah, it's cool, but it was also just to show the space that it is possible. And along the way, we thought a lot of the things we have achieved wasn't possible, but we kind of, again, we've been working on this for a year now, and it's finally here. But it actually panned out somehow.
Yeah,
So can
luckily
you
we had Olimarius. Olimarius made the script for it to be possible, right? So
Yeah.
he's a real, well, he's amazing in everything he does. So without him, maybe, at least that's what I heard, maybe it wouldn't have even been possible because of
No,
all
it
the
wouldn't have been.
components that come in his collection. Yeah.
No,
So
because
can you
it's
So
guys
yeah.
can you guys explain like two things? Like one, like I guess each aspect of this Jabez-Z. I know you have like the fox and the vehicle type thing, but also why was it so difficult to put together? Like what is so special about the configuration and the difficulty of it?
Yeah, no, and I get that because we keep talking about like, oh, this was so hard, this was so difficult, but people see it and be like, yeah, why was it? And that's a very, very fair question. We're just sitting here so proud of ourselves while nobody else gets why. Uh, we can, since we're here, anyways, we can kind of take, I'll be jumping a bit back and forth here between the list here just as a kind of cheat note. But how does that like so other because obviously there has been other NFTs that are animated and made in a similar fashion. The latest that would dropped right before us would be the Iron Paw Gang. Sure, most people would have seen them. Or Invisible Friends, which is in the same kind of group. To start there, they are. And please, I'm not casting shade on them because I think they're both great projects, and I really like the designers behind it. But what made this more complicated is one, it is in 3D, not 2D, and two, we set a goal where we wanted every single one to be animated differently, but obviously we can't animate 6,400, or at the start we set just the number to 10,000 just because that was a standard. Not that we're going to mint that, but just to have a number to work towards. But obviously we can't animate 10,000 NFTs. That's insane. So we broke it down to, okay, we need to make each part. So that's fine. So we have the bottom. Can you see my mouse, by the way?
We can, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we have the bottom, and then we have the cockpit, and then we have the Jabi-Z, and we have each arm, weapon, and some stickers and badges. That's more just, stuff that sticks onto it. But the elements that have animation is the bottom. The cockpit doesn't really have much animation; it just follows along, and then the Jabi-Z has its own animation and guns, and so we made a system where everything is randomly generated as any other collection, but instead of being every asset's being, I guess, finished and then copy pasted together, kind of in a post-production sense, we made a system, or was scripted a system, where we have a library of 3D assets that then would, in this case, it would then pull whatever these legs are called. These legs, how they are animated, will then affect the rest of the body. But on top of that, each other element has its own native animation, but it then blends the animations together, along with the script then pulls each part randomly generated, but then also pulls color palettes, the background environment, the different lighting it can have, the Jabi-Z. So to the traits list, it's like we have a pretty vast number of traits, but it's not insane. But what makes it then more unique is that you have all the different types of traits that are all pulled together, blended either in animation or in different patterns and all that, put together in 3D and then rendered out. And then the same generator that pulls physical assets also pulls sound bites. So the bottom here makes a sound, certain arms, certain weapons, the Jabezes make a sound, and that's then live mixed together and then applied to the NFT. So I hope that covered it all. Kenneth, please fill in if I left anything out. I've been through this way too many times.
Yeah, I think what's also very different is in terms of the color palette, whereas with other collections, it's usually the NFTs or the traits that have, for example, a blue hat or whatever, and that's then a trait. Whereas with us, it's not like a blue arm, it's just an arm, and then the color palette comes on top of that, where that creates a very clean asset for all the NFTs. So that's why sometimes you have NFTs that look a little bit funny in other collections, whereas with us, it will look smooth and it would all make sense. So that's also a very, very unique thing that you don't really see in other collections.
Yeah, so
that's pretty
basically,
insane. I can tell it's a lot that goes into it.
yeah, so you see, like, this is basically how the assets look for us. Like, it's library on library on library, but they're just, 3D blank assets that are randomly pulled together and then randomly assigned color, and then sound is applied. So the whole backend stuff is way beyond me,
Yeah.
but it's impressive.
Yeah, that is super complex.
What I
So
also,
with the,
what I
with
also
the
really
mix-
like about
go
this.
for it. Oh, go for it. Go for
No,
it.
no, go ahead, go ahead. Okay,
Oh
what I
no,
really
I
like
was
about this
just
collection.
yeah.
We're not in the same we're not on the same line here. What is happening? Okay, I'll just keep talking. Okay, my turn. What I really like about this collection as well is that the ears, the nose, everything is modifiable. So you will every Jabez will also look very different just because the ears can be longer, the nose can be longer, can be thicker, the lips, everything. So I really like that as well about this collection, which you also don't really see in other collections. It's a trait and that's it. But whereas, okay, it's the Jabi-Z, but then you have all these little differences, and then on top of that, you have the mood of the Jabi-Z that again will make the Jabi-Z look very different, and that way you have a very unique assets all over the line.
Go to the bottom here and see that. There you go.
It's your turn now.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, when you were showing that whole entire mech diagram, were all of those different, I guess, pieces of the diagram, are those all different layers in a way? Like that gun, for example, are there like different guns that could fit onto this mech, or like how exactly does that come into play?
Yeah, so everything fits everything, which also was kind of a pain in the ass, and we ran into tons of trouble at the end where things didn't fit 100% because we hadn't left. Our margins were too thin, so we had a lot of. We had to go over several hundred, if not thousands, of NFTs and re-render them. The main issue was some of the Jabi-Z animation where we had like bounding boxes for where it could, how like far out it could be animated, how extreme it could be in the movement, but our margins were too small. So when we added for example, the animation of a bottom like this one, where you get a lot of movement that's on top of the Jabi-Z animation. So you see here, like this Jabi-Z doesn't really do that much. He's kind of just like grinning, and the whole kind of shaking of him is because he's walking. So when you added that extra layer animation, the Jabi-Z was moving a bit more than we anticipated, where suddenly the ears would go through a cockpit wall, or the nose would stick through a piece of glass or something. So we had all these issues, and for 2 weeks now, we've been rendering every night, and the guys have been watching every NFT that's come through to find errors and re-rendering, and that process has been going on every day for 2 to 3 weeks, with all these small little things that come up that you don't anticipate with this collection of individually animated NFTs. But in theory, like everything fits everything. So we tried to calculate the actual number of varieties, but you can't do it. The number is too large.
Yeah, I mean, it seems really, really insane. So these are pretty much all one for ones in a way, where there's just so many different traits, animation, sounds, proportions are different. I mean, I can tell there is a lot that goes in the back end of putting all of this together. Now, can you guys show like some more of these on your site? Does it show some more variations?
Let's. What have we, with Twitter, we've posted quite a bit.
Yeah, Twitter.
Change, I guess you can only see that tab, right?
Yes.
Just jump in. I'll change that. Subscreen percent. Jump in here. All right. So here's another one. And this would probably be one that we probably had issues with in some of the other cockpits, because you see the ears kind of shake and stick straight out.
Yeah.
And that was like, the ears were a big problem in quite a few. So that's probably one of the ones that we had to change and re-render for quite a few. There you are.
There I am.
What is it? I thought it was just on Blockowls. It's
Go
why
down,
did I get
go
all
down.
this other shit? Goddamn Musk promoting stuff.
Oh, that's another one right there. Wow.
Yeah, this one is crying.
Yeah,
He's not ready.
he does not want to invade.
You can put on the sound, no? Or does it not transfer?
I don't know. Does it?
Oh, it is. That sounds crazy.
Oh yeah, like this one.
And it's really funny looking back because you've been working on this for so long. So it'd be like, for example, I think this gun was one of the first base models I made, and that's probably from September. And then here it is.
Jeez.
You just forget everything. Hello. Do we have any? We posted more.
We have some more down.
Here are
Oh, this is a good one.
still kind of small here though. But yeah, there's almost not infinite variety, but we're not to toot our horn too much, but we're obviously very proud of how this panned out, and people seem to love it, which we're really happy to see.
These are insane. So I know this is opinionated, but you had earlier said you're part of the Jabi-Z gang now, so to speak. Are you happier, or do you like this new collection more than the Owls, or are the Black Owls still like more in your heart? I guess. And I'm curious what both of you guys think. And I'm curious in the audience too if you guys are like obsessed with these. I know they haven't come out yet, so they haven't seen all of them yet, but I'm curious.
Well, the thing, I don't know. It's a really tough question because for me, just as a creator, they're obviously two different. Like each block owl is like then everything is designed with a purpose. If you know what I mean, like every block owl has a theme and it's made a certain way to look a certain way. Even though we had the animations are everyone isn't animated individually, but they still kind of have overall theme. Well, this one was here is more so fun because we had no idea how they're going to turn out. Right? We just have all these loose pieces. It's like you're sitting there with 300 pieces of Lego, and then you throw it in the tumble dryer, and then you get this is what we get. Okay, that's cool. So like it was a whole different process where, yeah, you work and work and work, and then suddenly be like, well, that wasn't complete shit.
No, I honestly, yeah, Blockowls will always have a place in my heart. So it's what I fell in love with. So the nostalgia will always stay, although it's just been a year and a half that I first met them. But yeah, the Jabezes is a different kind of breed. So super excited as well. If I have to choose, I choose both. I mean, why not choose both? It's easier, and then I don't have to disappoint any of them. I will always have my favorites in Blockhouse, and I'm sure I will get my favorites in here as well. I already kind of have a few favorites because I've been able to see quite a bit passing by, and I kind of know already what I'm gonna focus on when they drop. So yeah, I choose both. I choose both.
Nice.
Yeah.
And my next question is with this is like, so you guys have this mint coming up. I did see that you guys are actually splitting the mint now, which I think is a good move in this market. But what's sort of to come
Yeah.
after this mint? Like, what are your guys's plans after this? Are you guys, because I know a long time ago there were like talks about like making some sort of animation or these different things. So like what's kind of the roadmap or plans after this? Are there going to be more of these Jabezes? Is this all of the Jabezes? Are there going to be more collections? Is there going to be different, I guess, utilities that you guys add to this? What are the plans?
So first off, we can say that we have no plans for any more big collections. This is kind of, we have the two main pieces in our storyline. Anything else would be more in the realms of the stuff with the story collections or airdrops and stuff like that. We don't have any plans for any more big mints, unless
No,
down
exactly.
the line the community wants something else. But for us, we're kind of we're so to put it this way, we can't just keep minting forever. That's not the point of the project. The project is to kind of keep the storyline going.
Yeah, so what we really want to do is start focusing on creating the ecosystem. So after this drop, we will have some more workshops internally, but we'd like to do also workshops with the community because we really want to start creating an ecosystem where we focus more on the creating value for the holders. And so in big clients, we are thinking of a platform that rewards our collectors, but not just our collectors, also people that are active during with promoting or stuff like that. There's some background noise coming out here. No, what does that mean? Oh, that's me.
I
That's
think
weird.
it's you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was weird. So yeah, we really want to focus more on creating that ecosystem where we reward not just holders but also people that wants to be active in the community, whether it's through contests or through promoting or whatsoever. And the platform will eventually also branch out into other things. There's so much we can do. Like what we really want to do is as well offer the possibility for other projects to apply for things what we are good at. We're good at making advertisements, we're good at making animations, whether it's just for projects or whether it's to create together something. I mean, it would be cool to have at some point animations where for example we involve other projects, right? Have other projects and characters actually have in there as well. There's really so much we can do, but it also depends on the community because we really want to become community driven, and the community will have a big role and a big say in all of this. So yeah, I mean, it's we know what we want. We want to at some point create a series or a movie even, but we know that that doesn't happen overnight. So in the meantime, we have to focus on creating that value, and when the day comes that we can create these videos, then imagine everything is possible, right? We could, for example, rent the NFTs out from our community so we can add them in the videos, because in the end they are the owners of the NFTs, right? So if we want to use them in our teaser videos or in our series in the future, then we can, for example, rent them, or maybe we can do even contests where the winners will come into the teaser videos or in the series. So there's really so much we can do, but we need the right timing, and we need to do some more workshops as well after this drop. So yeah, really excited for the future because it's a new step. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be very different because now we've been focusing on creating art, creating the story, and now we're moving over to creating the ecosystem. And we have also our dev, Toby. He's been with us for a while, so he's been creating the foundation of that platform already. And yeah, that's really looking forward to that, honestly. Yeah.
That's the thing. We're not the only. Of course, there are many other kind of pure art projects, but we were 100% art. We didn't have a dev until Toby has been with us for 6 months ish, something like that. Maybe a bit longer, but that's kind of, we will always be art focused, but at least we working on more avenues than just making pretty things for people to look at. But that will always be the core of what we do because that's what we're good at.
Yeah.
If it's for us, if it's for others, that will always be like, that's a part of our business and our passion.
Yeah, and speaking to that, what do you guys say is kind of like the core long-term vision of the project? Like where do you really see this going or where do you really want it to go?
Like we obviously, along with the community, dream of making this universe into some sort of longer feature format. Like that's, we all want it, uh, and that's, I feel like it's an overarching goal of the project is to keep the visual storytelling going. But we also have to be realistic. Like it costs a lot to make animated series or a feature film. Personally, a feature film would be take too long to make. I think we would rather want to do a series because then the community don't have to sit there and wait for 3 years. So part of that would be, without giving any promises, but having like that in mind, we then would need to look at like how do we then alter, how do we make that happen? We need to come up with some nice revenue streams. We need to reward our community, make an ecosystem, and kind of create more around it than just this art project with a pipe dream. Yeah, to put it kind of harshly.
Yeah, and I think it's good to like think about those different things, like see the long-term goal of what you guys are trying to achieve and figure out, okay, how do we build up our brand and IP in a way that'll allow us to leverage outside resources to make something like this, or how do we have enough revenue to actually support some sort of cool idea like this, and building up that structure I think is really smart. And when it comes to, I know, Ken, you were talking about like a platform a little bit, and I think I talked to you a little bit about it at CNFTCon too, Phil.
Yeah.
Has this been already being worked on? And like, if so, like what exactly are you going to be able to do on this platform? How are you going to like kind of reward holders in the collectability aspect?
So I believe, like, just on the progress side, I believe all the groundwork is done, as far as I know. Like every, like the hard stuff, which is obviously part of how we've been minting now with the registration, and kind of all the stuff I don't understand. I think that's there. I have no clue how it works.
We need our dev in here.
Yeah.
No, but in big lines, we know what we want to work to. And in terms of rewarding, it's gonna be about collecting. It's gonna be about collecting concepts because our block owls have certain concepts. So you have the famous food owls, and then if you can collect these famous food owls, then yeah, you could be rewarded. But it shouldn't be just for collectors, also for people that, for example, make them here on Twitter. We can bring in a system where they get also rewarded, and it should work towards chapter 3 as well. But we don't want to give too much away because it's just still the beginning. It's in big lines. The platform is already built, a foundation, but like the specifics is still big lines. So after that, we want to really start making more workshops. We will have way more time for that, and then we can also start writing a white paper and everything. So yeah, that's just in big lines. Can't really go too much in specifics because there's so many things we still want to decide on, because the Jabezes come in here as well, and we kind of sense that we can connect that platform towards chapter 3, where there's like something to work towards to chapter 3, because the blockouts will be unchained. So it's not like the story ends. So in the contrary, the the battle is still quite a while away. So it would be really cool to connect that to chapter 3, where you can build towards something through collecting, but also through, if you're not that big of a collector for whatever reason, then you should also have the same possibilities to get also to that point where then chapter 3 will come in. But like I said, no specifics yet, big lines, yes. And we're looking forward to start workshops, not just internally, but also with the community, because the community should have a say in this as well, because that's what we really want to be in the long run, as well as a vision, like to become that big decentralized community driven brand, not just a brand, because that's why we come here to Web3, to be different, to not work as a traditional company. So there's a lot to be discussed, and that's gonna be very soon now.
Yeah, and in that regard, it's some might think that we have this, everything, we have a plan for everything. We obviously don't. When people calling out Jabezes being foxes before we even know it's foxes. So I'm just saying, like, we know where we want to head, but we don't know exactly where, the fine lines are. We know, as Kenneth said, like we know the big lines the direction we want to go, but how we get there, that's still something that for us and the community to both develop and decide.
And that makes it also fun, right? It makes it also fun for the community, because they can actually participate, and they should understand as well that they can participate. So very exciting.
Awesome. Well, we are heading towards the end of like kind of the stream today. Did you guys want to show some of like maybe some of the special not before seen Jabezes for people, and then maybe go over like the mint details one more time?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. That was the Jabi-Z right there.
So no ultra mythics yet, but we can give, I don't know, 1, 2, maybe 3 special edition ones. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah,
Maybe just 1.
I got 4 here, but 2 is the same style. So let's. All right. Should I share and you talk, Kenneth?
No, the NFT will do the talking.
All right. Which one should we do first? We should do the running one last.
Oh yeah,
So
let's keep that one. I really like the digital one that jumps. So maybe start with the golden one, and then that one, and then the other one.
Okay, let me see. Hope I didn't delete the digital one that jumps. Give me 1 second in this amateur hour.
Now, Ken, while he's pulling that up, how many special ones are
Anyways, yeah, let's continue.
How many special ones? So 4 golden ones for each clan one. Then
you already said what they were.
Eh? No, that's on the website, my friend.
Oh, geez. Oh, yeah, that's true.
And
You
and
already
then
said what it said on the website.
for special edition. Oh no, shit. But before we do this, we gotta get more reactions in here, right? Like, come on, do we want to see 1 special one, 2, or 3?
Yes, put in the chat, guys, how many you want to see.
Wows, something, guys. Was orange? Oh, we just give 1. We give 1. I don't think they're ready for it.
Oh, I haven't even seen the comments. Oh, here we are.
3, 10.
I was on private chat. I thought it was no one.
That's greedy, Valentine. Come on. Pourquoi?
3.
Okay.
Seems
Cool.
like 3 is the most common answer. We've got Eric says 3, McFlurry 3, Dusty 3, Valentine 10. David said just put them all in here.
So okay, it's got we have. I think if you line up all the NFTs in one video, which we did, and watch through it, it's close to 5-hour film.
Ooh. Now we have our film. All right.
Yeah.
You guys have your film?
And the first time we rendered the whole collection, we watched it, Yeah, it was brutal. Like, or we started at different ends and tried to make our way through. I don't know. You kind of go blind, but we were literally staring at NFTs animated over and over and over again, and it's a 4 hour film. But anyways, let's share screen.
Let's see.
Share screen. Let's do win entire screen. Share.
Yes, McFlurry, there will be one more teaser video. Kent is working
Do
on
one
it.
more trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, trippy.
you might. Okay,
All
there
right.
we go. Oh.
So let's start with this bad boy. Full
So this is the
screen.
first special one.
Yeah. So this is the gold.
it's a
I'm not sure
war.
how well the sound comes through to you guys, but I'll play it with sound.
Dude, this is trippy looking. This is really trippy looking.
Yeah. So that was Mr. Royal.
So is this the only gold one? There's
There's
multiple.
four.
There's
For
more.
each clan, there's one golden for each clan. Same for this one digital. For each clan, one digital.
Dude, the backgrounds even are so crazy. Like seeing all those crystals. Wow.
All right, and then we got this one, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I like this one. more.
Dude, they look so crazy. The one on the right, the little purple one looks
Yeah,
crazy.
he's so funny. I want him.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing. Geez, that was trippy.
That's trippy. Wow. So those are cool. And you said there's 4 different clans that they can be a part of, and there's one royal for each clan, basically.
Yes, correct. There's also 4 ultra mythic, so for each clan there's one ultra mythic. And those ones are fully custom made, so there's no shared trades whatsoever, fully custom made. They are we'll share at least one before the mint as well, I believe. But we're not gonna show them all because it should stay a little bit intriguing as well.
And
Uh,
Alaya, this is not ultra mythics. These are the
No.
4 specials for
Yeah,
one
those
for
are
each
not
clan.
ultra mythics. No. The ultra mythics are very different. So these ones have also like shared attributes or traits with other ones, but they are different or special edition because, well, the last one had this special the Jabi-Z running behind, which other NFTs don't have. Then the golden one and the digital makes it different or special.
I would say my favorite one out of those 3s was probably the second one, like that ghost looking one. I think that was
Oh.
the coolest one for me.
Oh yeah, there's one that jumps with his mech suit. That one is amazing. I was hoping he would share that one, but that one for his next for next time.
wait, I think I just removed that one.
Ah, it's okay. They see.
Eh,
They see.
I can put back. Okay, fine. God damn. Present.
Oh, are you going to show the jumping one?
I'll show the jumping one.
Okay,
Alright.
we got a bonus. We got a bonus one, guys.
Oh my god, you got so much today.
All right, let me add this. Oh, wow.
Do it
Holy
again.
crap.
Yeah, I love that
That
one.
one is insane. I feel like it's one of those things where it's kind of like the Blockowls, where you almost need to watch it like a few times to really see everything going on and all of the details.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
especially with these, there's so many different moving parts that are each doing something different. They're each making a different noise. They're each moving in a different way. Like, it's so dynamic. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's true. Like I've seen quite a bit already, and you just keep on finding new stuff again, and that's what I really loved about the Blockhouse as well. And you'll find that again in here as well.
Yeah, it's pretty great to sit there and spend half a day on an asset that nobody ever sees.
Well, we're pretty much at the end of the stream today, guys. I mean, it's been super cool looking at these different Jabezes. Um, what's the mint details? What's kind of coming up for everyone listening in, and then we'll kind of wrap up here.
Yeah, so the mint will be the 29th of April, starts 2 p.m. UTC. We'll have 3,200 NFTs, so the whitelist will be prioritized. If there are any NFTs left from the whitelist, they will go over to the public. The price will be for whitelist $100 and for public $111. It will be converted into ADA shortly before the mint. And yeah, I think that covers it all. No, yeah. So 4
If you
clans.
still haven't registered, go register on the site.
Yes, very important. Go to Jabi-Z.io. Register for public or whitelist if you hold Blockhouse. There's also still one raffle going on for our smaller holders. So keep your eyes peeled on the announcement. And yeah, we are super excited to finally show our collection. So this is gonna be really fun.
Yeah, man, and I'm excited to just see some of these like on JPEG Store, just like be able to look at them. I think it'll be really cool because I think I've gone through every single Black Owl myself and watched every single animation on your guys' site. So now it's even crazier. Like, there's no
Oh
way
yeah.
that you can watch all of them unless you spend 4 hours, I guess, looking through each one individually.
Yep.
We're gonna release that feature film of.
That'll be your film.
Yep.
But guys, that was awesome. Really appreciate you guys coming on and just sharing a little bit more about the project. If you're someone that listened in, you just heard the mint details, make sure to register if you're someone who's looking to mint the project. And yeah, best of luck to you guys. I really like how they turned out. I know I
Thank you.
was like, man, it's gonna be hard to like top block owls, but I think that this is something like so special and unique, and it really is in its own category, which is cool. And I think what you said earlier makes a lot of sense, Ken. It's like it's two different things that go together within this one story and ecosystem that you're building, and they both have something special about them.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having us. And yeah, wish you a fantastic day.
Thanks.
No problem. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one to everyone who listened in.
See you later. Thank you.
Bye.